Hi, this is Rich Formidoni from Korg. I'm here at Nova Musik with the KingKORG analog modeling synthesizer. It's our most powerful dedicated analog modeling synth. It has plenty of knobs for quick, intuitive control. It's got a built-in tube to add some analog warmth. The filters can model those of classic synthesizers. It sounds awesome and it's really easy to use. So today I'm going to show you a little bit about what makes it tick. The oscillator section of KingKORG gives you 3 different oscillators at once and 2 different timbres to work with. Now for each oscillator I can select a type, and as I scroll through I see that there's saw, pulse, triangle, sine, white noise, pink noise, blue noise, and a bunch of other options there, but then it gets into dual waveforms. Dual saw, dual triangle, dual square, then we get unison versions, then we get sync versions, then ring mod, and then cross mod. And then VPM, which is our digital synthesis. So you can see there's a lot of different things just within the analog modeling section. And then, once we go past those, we're in DWGS waveforms. So these are waveforms from the DW series of synthesizers that you can use in conjunction with the analog modeling. Tons of those. If I push the oscillator button, I can quickly go to different categories. There are PCM samples in here. So if you want a real piano, you've got one in there to work with. Same thing with organs, clavs, and a couple other PCM-based sounds. Then there's the microphone input, which gives you access to the vocoder, which sounds absolutely great. We've got the sounds grouped into categories. The first one is synth. And each time you play one of these sounds, make sure you grab the joystick and see what's happening. Pulling it down will cause some unique modulation for most of the sounds. There are plenty of lead sounds in here, and this is a good time to show off the fact that since KingKORG has 5 octaves, you can split the keys and have one timbre on the bottom and another one on top. There's also loads of great bass sounds in here as well. This particular sound uses the MG filter. It's modeled after the classic Mini. So what I'm going to do here is raise the filter cutoff. And you can hear how smooth it is. But when you crank up the resonance, that famous tonal character comes through and you can hear the overtones as we sweep the cutoff. So the synth sound that you heard before uses the OB filter type, just like the classic synth that would generate that particular type of sound. So again, if we crank the cutoff, and then raise the resonance, we hear that nice shimmering glassy effect. Crank up the resonance even more and you can hear the whole harmonic series as we lower the cutoff. There are also plenty of brass and string sounds, and in the string category you'll also find lots of different pads. And again, you can hear that by pulling the joystick down, you get some extra little goodies coming in. Here's another great example of that. This is a sound called Beach Pad. So there's lots of fun things to do. On the right side is a dedicated LFO and envelope section. So if I go back to my MG bass sound, I raise the filter cutoff a little bit. Now I'm going to raise the amp attack and release. And if I want to have the filter modulated by an LFO, I just keep the button set at filter here and adjust the intensity. Then we can crank up the frequency. On the left side of the KingKORG, there are a bunch of different effects processors. First is the pre-effects. This has things like tone control, distortion, decimation. So if I want to hear a decimator, I'll just go to a synth sound here. Switch to the decimator, crank it up. On this particular sound, you can also hear that there's a phaser. That would be in the mod effects section, which is right next to the pre-effects. So I can adjust the depth and speed of whatever modulation effect I choose. Next to that is a dedicated reverb and delay section, and this includes cool things like a tape echo. And when you adjust the time of the tape echo, it modifies the pitch just like a classic tape echo would. On the left side, there's a real tube under this grate. So if I take a sound like a bass, turn on the tube, already we can hear a difference in tone. Crank up the drive, and it really starts to scream. Hit the boost button, and it almost becomes a lead sound. So that's an awful lot of tube goodness there. You can go from natural warmth to a really smooth overdrive. On the back panel, there's a USB port, there are MIDI inputs and outputs, all your usual outputs and pedal inputs, and there's also a CV gate connection. You can connect it to analog gear such as the Monotribe or MS-20, and it also lets you interface with other analog gear like modular systems. Once again, I'm Rich Formidoni from Korg, here at Nova Musik with the KingKORG modeling synthesizer. If you have any questions, please reach out to Nova Musik. Thanks very much for watching.